How is everybody doing? So I want us to talk about the cutting of hair in our secondary schools. There are varied thoughts, and then this is mine, so don't crucify me. All right, so a lot of people have linked the cutting of hair to colonization, where they are making the argument that this was a colonial inheritance, where colonial masters asked Ghanaian to cut their hair so that they'll be able to decipher between Ghanaians and mysteries. It's funny though, but well, that is the argument that some people are making. I remember that when I was in kindergarten, and then also early primary, right? We were braiding our hair to school, and I went to Saito. We were braiding our hair, but there was a directive that came that we should all cut our hair, largely because parents were unable to maintain their kids' hair. Some of us go to school with lice following, bent scalp from relaxers, and then lies and whatnot and what forth. So we were asked to cut our hair, and that directive came in. So even if you look at Kwame Nkrumah time, up to my grandmother, I've never seen a picture of her with haircuts before. So I tend to disagree with the issue of colonization, and that was where we got the thing of hair cutting. Even when you look deep into our culture, you realize that some of our cultures, they cut their hair as a sign of purity and whatnot and what forth. So I would disagree with the colonization argument. I know Black Americans come to Ghana and they raise this argument, and Ghanaians, as usual, jump on them. And that takes me to my second issue of this national discussions largely being led by celebrities. You know, a lot of the time when there is a discussion, it's more about sensationalism, and then also this popular opinion. And then what is the popular opinion? And people jump on this popular opinion for the views, for the followings, and whatnot and what forth. I would say that it is important that when such issues come, you are critical about it. And when you are critical about it, it means that you are considering alternate views, right? For you to be critical about the whole thing. When I heard it the first time, I wasn't happy because my younger sister went to school, my little cousin went to school, and she had to cut all her beautiful hair. So I wasn't happy. I actually discussed the issue of the young girls themselves learning how to braid so that they can braid each other's hair. And then a lot of people have also made the argument that allowing these young ones to have their hair will mean that a lot of employment will be created, where we'll have hair braiders go to their schools to braid their hair for them. I can afford to even put someone in my car and drive to my child's school and say that, hey, braid my daughter's hair for them, or send the person money and say go to the school and braid their hair for them. What about those people that cannot? For a country that largely depends on free education, we seem to always lose sight of that. Boarding is free. Accommodation is free in our secondary schools. When you go to the richer schools in the world, boarding school is not free for anyone. Feeding is not free for anyone. In Ghana here, feeding is also free, right? The schools that we imitate, a lot of the time, education is not universally free. So they have a way around it, and we don't. So even those who go to boarding house, like in the US, there are community schools, and you can go to that. But for us, even those who go to the boarding house, government is paying for them. And now textbooks are bought by government and whatnot and what have you. The headmasters are being told every day, don't take money for PTA. PTA is not compulsory. So we are basically saying that we are poor, right? And we cannot afford that. Why are we giving politicians ideas? If we start the hair braiding and the poor among us cannot afford it, who is going to pay for them? Now, the politicians will now say that they are giving contracts to people who are hair braiders to go in there and braid people's hair. And also look at the negative side of allowing strangers into campuses. Already, our campuses are not safe for our young ones. We have heard about abuse upon abuse by teachers of these young ones, right? Headmasters raping, abusing, and using these kids however they want. And now we are now sending other people into their midst to go and do what they So if a system is not broken, why are we trying to fix it? So we have issues in our secondary school: feeding, infrastructure. Students go to school 4 weeks, they are out, and they'll stay home for 3 months and go back for 4 weeks. So there are real issues that we must discuss. So I do not know why we are talking about hair cutting, no hair cutting at this point in time. As I said earlier, I was angry when the issue came up. But the truth is that what is most important, most critical at this time? Why do we dabble in the trivial? And when it comes to the critical, we minor in it. It's like, oh, anyways. Right? So as I was angry and I separated myself from it, the fact that I can afford it doesn't mean that the next person can. And that is why the discussion of uniformity comes in, so that nobody feels left out. Everybody feels what? Included, which is very important. I say that we have more pressing issues. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on our energy on what really matters, making sure that our secondary schools go back to their former glory, what they used to be when we were in school, when teachers were not abusing the young ones, where we didn't have 4 weeks in, 3 months out, double system out, where we actually are offering quality education to our young ones. Let's concentrate on those arguments, because when the system is not broken, when something is not broken, you do not try to fix it. Right? So for whether people should cut their hair, not cut their hair, let's do away with that conversation for now and focus on what is most important, what is most critical. I've heard that a lot of people have said that they developed some form of mental issues because they cut their hair. Me, I can cut my hair. Even right now, if you give me $1 million, I'll go and cut my hair. I cut my hair anytime I feel like it. I don't know. I just cut it. I sympathize with those people. But if you have a medical reason, you just give it to the school and then you're good to go anyway. So I think we should focus on what really matters, right? Ghana, we talk about too many trivial things. We double in triviality. It's too much. Let's talk about what will actually contribute to quality education: access, infrastructure, feeding, doing away with the double track, and so on and so forth. And make sure that we get the perverts out of our secondary schools so that those girls can actually learn and do well in this life. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Share your thoughts with me. What do you think? Where do you lie on the discussion or on this discussion? Let me hear you. See you. Bye.